Hi, this is Judy Berman. I'm on a different device, and this is really, really cool because this is a big screen, and um, I'm testing out doing this Zoom recording using my Facebook ID with this virtual background with me and my parents, um, and using my headphones. So I love the color pink, and my glasses are pink, and talking in a low voice, and I'm going to check the recording afterwards to see if I could hear myself because I want to keep my voice quiet because um, I live with my two sons. They're adult sons who I've raised, and they're sleeping. I don't want to wake them up. And one of them, my younger one, who's Mark, who's 27, he gets very touchy if he hears my voice. He sometimes gets very temperamental, like a toddler who is past their nap time, and then he threatens to have a tantrum. And we've had to sometimes repair cracks and holes in the walls, and I don't want to do anything to cause any damage because even though I own my apartment in my co-op, I don't want to attract any kind of negative attention. I don't want to end up out on the street unnecessarily for no reason or be have an unneeded reputation of being like a problem or any trouble. You know, uh, I mean, none of us have uh, mental health. We've all had mental illness. We all suffer from it. It's an ongoing problem, and there's way too much stigma. My mother's a wonderful person. She's 92. It's before I was conceived, she had spent 6 months hospitalized in Bronco County State Hospital. She had had shock treatments. She had paranoia. She tried to kill herself. She had used iodine and whatever. She had like problems, and she has been a very high strung, nervous uh, person, very overprotective, a lot of fearfulness, a lot of hovering, helicopter mom. And I've turned out amazingly to be the same way, like a carbon copy. I have, moodiness. There are times when I don't want to be on the phone. There are times when I don't want to be talking, where I don't want to be seen. And, well, I mean, to my credit, I've raised two adult sons who are amazing. They're actually lovely, gentle people. We all have our quirks. I mean, my younger one has a heart of gold. He's very loving. He's very gentle. All our cats always adore him. And actually, our cats adore all of us. But my son has a lot of my same qualities, and he is very good in art. Actually, I think he is much much better in art than I am. He is extremely disciplined, and he has tremendous attention to detail, lovely, wonderful imagination, and mastery of colors and form and everything. It's wonderful. And my father is 94. He's a Holocaust survivor. He just had a pretty bad fall, and he broke a rib, and he's having trouble breathing because of that. And he's bandaged up. He has bruises on his arm and leg. But, they both live in their own house with two flights of stairs and a front entrance with stairs. So, you know, um, I don't know how they've managed to live this long. They're both pretty accident prone. My mother has walked into walls. They've both been hit by bicycles. My father's been hit by a car twice. Um, these type of things run in the family. We're all full of drama. I've been hit by a car also. Um, and again, to my credit, I've raised two wonderful, lovely sons who are both adults, both well mannered, both very caring, loving people. And my older one, Gerald, is a wonderful, wonderful person. He's 10 years in Fountain House. He's in the Welcome Center. He's given successful tours. And he has a lovely sense of humor. They both do, actually. And just like me, and I've been known to have a quick wit, and a fast way with expression. I worked 40 years full time traveling to Manhattan and back. Uh, a slave to the transit system, the buses and subways and the express buses, and many times using the train when I if I was there late often to pass the time when the last express bus could take me home, and I'd be traveling home myself on trains, and I've dragged myself around. um, I was told years ago that I should have been on disability because um, when possible I use a walker. When possible, I use a taxi. I find excessive ride completely unreliable, so it expired at the end of January, and to hell with it. I use a taxi if I need it. I use the service called Santo Domingo, who is in Corona near me, and they're very, very good, very fast. Not cheap, but what the fuck. Um, and you know, I'm going to be 70 years old this year. I think I'm far past the time in my life where I have to prove a fucking thing to anybody, really, to tell you the truth. Um, I've proven myself. And, I love Fountain House. I'm a member of Fountain House. I'm there every day. I attend the meetings. I know the work what a day. I contribute. I give. I do what I can, and I love, I know the standards. I've attended Center for Leadership and Education and navigator training and standard study, and I attended a meeting with uh, the CEO, Ken Zimmerman, about making decision making. I couldn't finish the meeting. I had to like take my headphones off and leave the meeting because um, I'm on demand 24/7 for my younger son. If he knocks on my door, I must answer because otherwise I've at times I've gotten holes in the wall, and I've repaired the apartment enough that I rather just be at the beck and call and answer people when they need me, and be very quiet when they don't want to hear me, and just I live my best life in peace, just accommodating others, taking care of them, and uh, living my best life. But I don't have to travel to Fountain House to be a member. In the standards, it says that everything is by choice, and you do things by choice. And uh, to me, the pandemic was my Declaration of Independence. It was like a breath of fresh air for me. No pun intended, because everybody was wearing a mask. But you know what? I had the COVID, I've had the vaccines, and guess what? We found that technology was the silver lining. Now that I know that I can be on Zoom, I don't have to drag my broken body on buses and subways and schlep around. I can be in my house. I have irritable bowel syndrome. I don't need to take a chance of having to go into a dirty bathroom or a public bathroom. I like using my own toilet. And trust me, my bathroom's not spanking clean, but it's mine. I don't want to have to worry about when I have to go to the bathroom, especially like if I'm stranded on a bus or a subway. You can actually get stranded in a taxi going in traffic between Queens and Manhattan. I've done it. It's not a picnic. I want to be in my own house. I need to be in my own house, and I have enough problems. I've actually had a doctor's note that says if I want to be virtual, I can be virtual. I've had anemia that was so severe that I had to have infusions for a period of 6 months. I have a low immune system. I have problems, with my digestive system and going to the bathroom. I have, I'm on pain medicine. I have three herniated discs, and I also have degenerative spinal stenosis of the lumbar spine. And, things happened for me at the right time, because after I um, was a computer programmer for 40 years, and working my ass off, literally, on call, on demand, evenings and weekends, answering computer problems on computer, uh, remotely, because we had remote access before Zoom became a thing, where I had, you know, it was very visible. And if I didn't have the right answer, if I made mistakes, they had a zero tolerance for mistakes, and it was quite visible. And somehow I managed to survive in my health insurance company, even surviving while other they went through many layoffs, and I survived. And it wasn't until we had the H-1B. Uh, they decided that they were going to outsource to outside consultants who were from another country, who were going to be newer and cheaper. And we were compelled and obligated and instructed that we had to teach them our job. And after we taught them our job, our whole department was fired. And I had two adult children, and I was like, how am I going to support them? And they had been telling me, you walk with a cane, and you should be working from home, and you should be on disability. And I had managed to work from home for a while, and when they fired us all, I got on disability, and I was able to get my disability and then have my Social Security early. And, I worked for 40 years, so I was able to be retired. So guess what? I'm disabled, I'm retired, I don't have a mental illness. My mother had a mental illness. My mother and father are alive. They, they're well and nervous and mentally damaged. My father is a Holocaust survivor. He's had trauma. Trust me, and so my son Gerald had heard voices from childhood and is diagnosed with severe mental illness, and he's been hospitalized over a dozen times. And he was in FEGS and he was in a Goodwill. And then he was able to be in Fountain House and he loves it. He's there 10 years. And he was the inspiration for me to join Fountain House. And I became well versed in knowing about the clubhouse and the clubhouse method and everything. And so now it allows me to be able to connect with my son on another level. And it also has helped me. So here, this is my story, and I'm sticking to it. And uh, I think I'll end with a nice song. So let me just go into my Rolodex of lyrics, and I'll find a nice song. Okay, I've got a song. And it's one of, I love the Beatles. And for me, since it's 6 a.m. in the morning, the alarm's about to go off. And my sons are asleep. And, with any luck, no one's going to be banging my door saying, why? It's 6 o'clock in the morning. Shut the fuck up. Why are you singing at this hour? So here goes. Day after day, alone on a hill. The man with the foolish grin is keeping perfectly still, but nobody wants to know him. They can see that he's just a fool, and he never gives an answer. But the fool on the hill sees the sun going down, and the eyes in his head see the world spinning round. Well on the way, head in a cloud, the man of 1,000 voices, talking perfectly loud, but nobody wants to hear him or the sounds he appears to make, and he never seems to notice. But the fool on the hill sees the sun going down, and the eyes in his head see the world spinning round. Oh, 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 oh. He never listens to them. He knows that they're the fools. They don't like him. The fool on the hill sees the sun going down, and the eyes in his head see the world spinning round. Okay, thank you. Have a nice day.